9,000! Oh yeah! Not Ringo.
You know, you gotta wonder whether or not your LEGO minifigures have void stuff all over them. Hence the 3D glasses. Well, if it worked for the 10th Doctor, I'm sure it'll work for me. But what started this void stuff investigation, you may ask? The latest addition to the LEGO franchise, LEGO Dimensions. LEGO Dimensions is a LEGO science fantasy action adventure video game developed by TT Games and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Wii U, Xbox One and Xbox 360. It follows the toy-to-life format that Skylanders and Disney Infinity had, where you could play as several LEGO characters within one game. When this video game was announced, I didn't know what to expect from it. The trailers made it look awesome, but was it really going to be as awesome as they were saying it would be? Or would it just be a cop-out just to get people to buy more products? Well, let's take a look. The story begins in a wavy desert-like dimension with a hidden planet known as Foundation Prime. The evil Lord Vortek, played by Gary Oldman, and his former minion Expo seek the 12 Foundation elements, the cornerstones of time and space itself, in a bid to merge all universes into one under his control. And during his search for the Foundation elements, 3 LEGO characters, Wildstar from the LEGO Movie, Batman from DC Comics, and Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, all sense this investigation and decide to team up and stop Lord Vortek from collecting all the Foundation elements before he finds them and takes over the world. And while trying to save all dimensions from Vortek, they're also out to save Robin, Frodo, and Metalbeard from Vortek. And along the way they come across several other LEGO characters including Homer Simpson, Doc Brown, the Doctor, the Ghostbusters and many others. And the whole adventure is just several twists and turns leading to several LEGO dimensions and meeting several LEGO characters along the way. With how popular the LEGO franchise already is, it would have been easy for the makers just to have made this video game slapped it together with no effort at all. But it was a really good game. The game features characters and worlds from 14 different franchises, including DC Comics, Lord of the Rings, the LEGO Movie, The Wizard of Oz, The Simpsons, LEGO Ninjago, Doctor Who, Back to the Future, Portal 2, Ghostbusters, Midway Arcade, Scooby-Doo, Legends of Chima, and Jurassic World. And it would have been really easy to have just slapped this video game together with no time or effort put into it. But the writers actually did put a good effort into making this video game. Not only was it not just a ploy to get people to buy more products, but it was a really well written story. The reactions of the characters and the different worlds they come from and go to are just exactly what you'd expect from these characters. Like, I love how the 2 Batmans from DC and the LEGO Movie fight with each other as soon as they meet.
Where did you come from? And why are there 2 Batmans? Batmen?
This video game uses the same format as Skylanders, Amiibo and Disney Infinity does, where the player takes a USB portal and figurines to put it on. But unlike its competitors, the figurines and models are buildable. And while you do get a paper instruction for the minifigures and the starter pack, you do have to get the instructions from the video game itself. When you either have to add components to the gateway or build gadgets and vehicles, all the instructions are included within the game as soon as you log the new character into it. But for the characters with the LEGO packs, you actually have to play the level to obtain these gadgets and vehicles. I found that out when I got the Doctor Who level pack. The main characters are Batman, voiced by Troy Baker, who gives a good feel to the Dark Knight as he should be in the comic books, as well as a little bit of a comedic side to it, but not so much that he's an exact copy of the LEGO movie Batman.
Who are you? What did you do to us? Is he always like this, Wild Style?
There's Gandalf the Grey, voiced by Tom Kane, who you may remember as Professor Utonium in the Powerpuff Girls. He's basically the same old Gandalf that he was in the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies, and I find it really funny how he makes fun of all the futuristic things that he sees in various dimensions compared to his own timeline.
Can someone explain to me what's going on, please?
And the last main character you play as is Wildstyle, voiced by Elizabeth Banks from the LEGO movie. And she's pretty much the same old Wildstyle we knew in the LEGO movie. And other characters in this game include Lego Doc Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd, Two-Face, the Joker, Harley Quinn, voiced by Tara Strong, all 13 incarnations of the Doctor, the main one being the 12th Doctor, played by Peter Capaldi, while all the other 12 is just really archived recordings of all the other actors. What I also think is a nice touch for the Doctor Who character is that every time one of the Doctors goes into the TARDIS interior, the TARDIS console room changes into whatever TARDIS console room each Doctor had. So like with the first Doctor you'd have the first console room, with the 8th Doctor you have the movie console room, and with the 9th and 10th Doctors you get the console room that I was introduced to. And with Tom Baker you get two console rooms. One which was the traditional white TARDIS console room with the circle fins, and the other one was the wooden one that he had in a few episodes before. And I think that's really awesome. Other Doctor Who characters include Jack Harkness, voiced by John Barrowman, and he actually gets to sin in this game. Clara Oswald, voiced by Jenna Coleman, the always hilarious Missy, voiced by the always hilarious Michelle Gomez. An unexpected surprise for me was Davros, voiced by Julian Bleach, as a main villain in the Doctor Who level pack, The Extermination of Earth.
I might have a new face, Doctor, but I see you are still the same old grasping fool. Davros, not so much a bad penny as a mad penny.
And Nick Briggs comes in providing his voice for the Daleks and the Cybermen. And that's really awesome to me.
The Doctor must be exterminated. Daleks conquer and destroy. You will be exterminated. Obey the Daleks. Locate the Doctor. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. We are the supreme beings. Enemies of the Daleks will be exterminated. Do not move. Silence!
And with the LEGO Lord of the Rings dimension, the only characters that have their original voice actors is Legolas and Gimli, which is basically just archived recordings of the original actors from the movies. And it even has Roger L. Jackson as Saruman. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Mojo Jojo himself plays Saruman the White.
I am Saruman the White. I am not a bad guy. Please.
And all the LEGO movie characters are basically voiced by the same actors that played them in the movie. And the only two actors that don't come in to voice the original characters are Liam Neeson as Bad Cop and Good Cop, since he just uses archive recordings, and Will Ferrell also doesn't come back to voice Lord Business, probably because he was busy doing something else. So they just got an actor to try and do an impression of Will, and it almost succeeds. And all the LEGO characters from The Wizard of Oz are basically just a load of actors who are trying to sound like the original voice actors, and all the Simpson characters that actually do talk are just archived recordings. And I honestly don't get why they didn't get the original actors to voice the characters with new lines. It's kind of weird for me, but I think it works okay. As for the new characters, there's Expo, a little robot who used to work for Lord Vortek before he was betrayed. And now he helps out the heroes with finding the Foundation elements. He cracks some wise jokes, but really does care about keeping the dimensions intact. And my all-time favourite new character in this video game is Lord Vortek, voiced by Gary Oldman. This guy is just so despicably evil and loves every second of it. And I could just imagine how much fun Gary Oldman must have been having voicing this character.
It would seem the mice have escaped from my maze, and for some reason I cannot locate them. So, what do we do if we can't find them?
We make them find us.
Precisely.
Gary Oldman is just so friggin' awesome as Lord Vortek. And I personally think they should make him an exclusive minifigure of this character. And if they're considering making a sequel to LEGO Dimensions, I'd definitely bring Gary Oldman back to voice him. He's evil, knows it, loves it, and Gary Oldman was so friggin' awesome as the character.
Finding my foundation elements. Every time I send you fools to retrieve one, they're right behind you.
Now, if I do have any complaints with this video game, it's the fact that some LEGO franchises don't get shown into this game. Mostly the stuff owned by Disney, like Star Wars and Marvel and all that stuff. Now, it's not a major complaint, but I play the game enjoying it, but also thinking how much cooler it might have been with Star Wars characters. I mean, wouldn't you love to see Darth Vader interacting with the Daleks or something? And I can honestly just imagine something like the battle droids or the stormtroopers fighting against the Cybermen. That'd be so funny. And the Marvel characters don't show up either. Like, just think about how cool it would have been to have had the Marvel superheroes interacting with the DC superheroes. But that's just a minor nitpick, and the fact that they're not in it doesn't really come close to ruining what was a really good game. And once you've completed the game completely, or if you're still in the middle of completing the game, you can still use whatever character you want to besides the three main characters. As soon as I got the Doctor Who level pack, I used the Doctor for pretty much every mission I've gone on. And ever since I've completed the game and gone back to get some secret items, I've always used Unikitty alongside the Doctor for a laugh. Just like with my review of the LEGO TARDIS console set, I like to use Unikitty as the Doctor's companion in LEGO Dimensions. Because I love Unikitty and I just think it's a good laugh. And you can combine as many of these characters with any of the characters like the Doctor as you want to. And that's the whole fun of it. This was the last video game that I was to get last year before 2016. And it is a really great game, and it's worth adding to your collection if you're a LEGO fan. LEGO Dimensions has a lot to offer for me. Various characters, apart from Marvel and Star Wars characters since they're owned by Disney. A lot of the good comedy and action stuff you expected from the previous video games. And it's just so freaking awesome to play. In fact, it's so awesome it's almost like a movie. This is a LEGO video game that I would definitely recommend for anyone who's a LEGO fan in general. It's got great action, great animation, characters we know and love, introductions to various franchises in LEGO like Jurassic World, Ghostbusters and Doctor Who, and it will have you entertained for hours on end. So if you're a LEGO fan, I'd definitely say go out there and buy LEGO Dimensions. You won't be disappointed. I'm Dalek44, and I'll see you next time, folks. Right, Unikitty's got no void stuff. Let's check another one. Ah, Darth Vader.